hours and kind of a little background on what I did at the Ronald McDonald House and different opportunities to volunteer over there. Hello, I'm Lindsay Richardson. One experience that has truly impacted me is definitely the CIPTOS program. The CIPTOS program is a 4-year academy, and through this program we've had the privilege of taking the following courses: Introduction to Political Science, State and Local Government, my favorite, Speech, Advanced Placement Economics, International Relations, and Philosophy. These classes have put pressure on me to use critical thinking and to keep an open mind. Also through the 4 years, each individual must complete 100 hours of community service. And for their junior year, they must complete a 75-hour internship. And through these 4 years, you have applied all your skills into completing your senior project. CIPTOS has educated me to be organized, motivated, and has been able to keep me in check with the reality behind the world. One huge part of CIPTOS is giving back to the community. This is why each peer must complete 100 hours of community service. This is not just a requirement, it helps the individual grow. Through completing these 100 hours of community service, I have matured into a young adult. I have gained patience and respect for those who have a different background than me. I saw that we lived in an imperfect world, but by working peacefully with one another, we are creating steps to slowly making the world a perfect place. I have learned my role and the roles of others in my community. It is essential for one to lend a helping hand, and while doing so, to reach out with warm embrace. I had the opportunity to help in many different situations, from working at the food locker to cleaning books at a library. It is an understatement when one uses the phrase, "a little bit goes a long way." Through completing these volunteer hours, I was able to figure out where I wanted to intern at and what would be easy for me and what would be a perfect fit. A big part of CIPTOS that I really would say that influenced and affected me a lot was my internship. I interned at the Ronald McDonald House, which is the binder being passed around. I completed over 185 hours there, and Lois Polshek was my mentor. She's a very selfless individual, and she inspired me to want to be just like her. I was a house assistant over there, which is kind of the assistant of the house manager. Lois is obviously the house manager, and she lives at the house. Each day, my work days were 8 o'clock in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. And what I would do was I would be able to check in the families, take the kids to their rooms, and also go around filing and doing little tidbits of different things of the house. And working with these families, it made me realize that I'm very grateful for the life I was gifted with. The internship also opened up a ton of new doors for me. One was the Red Shoe Crawl, which was the house's biggest fundraiser. I was able to meet a ton of new different people there by working. What the Red Shoe Crawl is it's actually a really fun day. My mom and I went together and worked on it. You buy a pass and you kind of go around, and everybody gets to try food and while raising money for the Ronald McDonald House. And so I got to help with this event while studying and having quality mother-daughter day. And the internship taught me to work well with others, and it gave me a glimpse of the real work world. To some families, to go in and out of the house with smiles on their faces and how strong and courageous they were was chilling and certainly touched me. Also to add, the internship certainly got me ready to take one of the biggest challenges yet to come into the CIPTOS program, my senior project. Working every day at a nonprofit, it made me really want to help out in the community and really kind of do something close to home. My mom has been affected with the disease alopecia, so I put on, my run is actually this Saturday, and I've been putting on a run. It is called Run Your Bald Off, and during this, I've had to try to come in contact with the Sacramento Regional Parks District, which they weren't very cooperative because my run was supposed to be there, but unfortunately my backup is Rio Americana, or fortunately, my backup is Rio Americana track. What's going to happen is it's going to be a fun run slash walk, and what we're going to do is we're splitting up the track with cones, and on the inside of the track you're going to have your runners, and on the outside we're going to have the walkers. First place gets a little prize from Fleet Feet because were very, I was very thankful that they would donate to us. And through my senior project, I have had to use very many different qualities, one of which you have to go around to your community asking for donations and whatnot, which actually brings me back to my pancake breakfast. Pancake breakfast is a project that you put on your freshman year, and what you have to do is kind of get donations together, and it's the freshman's real big fundraising opportunity for the Civitas program. I remember my freshman year, I'm kind of a nervous person, but in the class I like to be the goofball. But I am a really nervous person, so going in and having to go out into your community and ask for donations was definitely a new experience for me. It kind of got me able to get me out of my shell, which was a nice thing because I always had a hard time breaking out. I mean, I was kind of, like I said, the class kind of in class, but outside I was having a hard time connecting with other people. And so that's what helped me be able to complete my senior project. Another thing was communicating with my peers. My class is my family. I was so very thankful for that. I came from a small school. I went to St. John the Evangelist, so I was at a private school for all 9 years, and coming into a big high school, you know, I didn't have the same shelter. I wasn't sheltered the same. And so having Civitas and having Miss Reed with her constant loving nagging, it was a great thing because what happened was when I first got there, you know, I just get in, and public school from private school was just a totally different thing. And when I went into high school, I was all about, you know, going into law and wanting to do all this cool, neat stuff. And I don't think going to a different high school would have definitely wouldn't have given me the same opportunity that Civitas program has. Civitas gave me, and I definitely wouldn't be getting into the school of my dreams. I got into the University of Alabama, which I will be attending next fall. And with the Civitas program, it gave me the 4 years of social science, which was also a really nice thing, but that also geared me towards what I was getting ready for in the real world. I got to, like I said, my favorite was state and local government, which kind of gave me a background, and also through the Civitas program, we had many different field trips that kind of got your feet wet, got you going. So Civitas is undoubtedly one experience in my life that has impacted me and helped me mold into the young lady I am today. I have gained more knowledge and understanding of the states across the world. I have learned to be a personal and generous person. I have been disciplined to know the difference between right and wrong, and when it is right or wrong, and to always do so with an open heart and hand. I have made beautiful friends and a teacher who have pushed me to strive to be my best. I am a strong, determined individual now, with a better work ethic than I came in, and through this whole experience, I know if I put my nose to the grindstone, I can accomplish anything. With this, I want to thank the Civitas Academy, Miss Reed, and Mr. Nelson, and my class. They have pushed me to heights I would have never thought I could reach, and I am so unbelievably grateful for this. Though I often wonder what I would do with Miss Reed's constant reminders, and my class always pull me up or bring me up out of a rut, I will always have the memories and skills I need to survive, also with the help of email and Facebook and texting, to keep in contact with them. We are truly a family, and I will miss them dearly next year.
Very nice.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay.
No fainting.
Yeah.
So now, questions for Lindsay about her experiences?
How'd you pick University of Alabama?
My mom went there, and she was an alumni. They also have a really good law program over there, so that's just kind of been my dream ever since I was a little girl. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to get in because in high school, I don't think, for real, marijuana requirements, you don't take those 4 years of social science, so without that, I definitely wouldn't made the requirements to get in over there.
So just so you guys know, there are all the requirements the kids have to take. Those 5 semesters of social science classes are extra. So they're taking additional coursework, which means a lot of times they're taking a 7-period day, and they also get 5 units of social science credit that is an independent study, which is their senior project. So
Yeah.
they like they're majoring in high school is what they're doing.
What area of law are you interested in?
I want to go into personal injury, kind of studying that area.
From the plaintiff's or the defense perspective?
From the defense. Yeah.
The families that are the patrons of Ronald McDonald House, they've got kids who are going through some real serious situations.
Yeah.
How did you handle the level of emotions that the families had when they were staying?
You know, I had, when I was in Girl Scouts in middle school, I had been over there a couple times, and I actually did my silver award project over there. I got made an 8x8 enclosed sandbox, so I was kind of prepared because we had one little boy who had cancer, and we only had about 8 months left to live when we were building the sandbox at the time. So we dedicated that sandbox to him. That kind of prepared me to go into what I was ready for. The whole being around it, I knew I was going to have to be facing some sad parts in my day, but I think having Lois there as my mentor, she kind of made me really strong. And I think what was most touching was also the parents. I saw a lot of parents in there, and just the fact that there were burn victims in there, and they were so, you know, it's not a very pretty sight. And just to see the parents so happy and grateful that their child is still alive, I think was what made me get through the day. And the kids would come in, and we had a little house dog, her name was Winnie, so the kids would come in and play with Winnie, and they just, no matter what had happened to them, they still had this huge smile on their face, and I think that's what got me through the day the most. And made it bearable to handle those emotions.
So what do you hope, like, are the results for your run, are you doing it to educate people about the disease?
Yeah.
Or to raise money for the cause?
Well,
or?
what alopecia is, it's a hair loss disease, and they haven't found a cure for it because not a lot of funding goes into it. So, though it's not, and the reason that they don't have funding going into it is it's not physically killing people. When my mom had been diagnosed with the disease, we had kind of started looking online about it, and we came across a lot of blogs of children my age and teenagers. And I think what got me is I was reading around a girl who she was getting ready for homecoming. She actually blogged about how she had to get ready and how she just didn't feel pretty, and it started to make me cry. And to see the strongest person in my life cry every day, like, you know, that, I think that's what made me want to, like, get out the word about alopecia as while raising money for them to try to find a cure.
So if any of you feel like walking or running in the morning on Saturday?
Yeah, on Saturday, $10 donations in exchange for a fun run and try to find a cure for alopecia. And I do.
Any further